Why, hello everyone. This is AL Thick Madame, and against my better judgment, I am going to do a review on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So, y'all, excuse me. I'm trying to get my hair out of the way. It's doing the absolute most and least at the same time on this side. So, I'm just like, pull some of it to the back and some of it to this side. It's just getting on my nerves. So, anyway. This episode started out with them showing Stevie J riding in this like car, this limo or something, and he is in Las Vegas, Nevada, where the last, I think, installment of the Soul Train Music Awards was held, and coincidentally, his now wife, Faith Evans, was going to be presented with the Lady of Soul Awards. Now, I tried to watch that, and for some reason I couldn't get but like 15 minutes in, and I just never went back to it. It wasn't bad or anything. I just just kept dropping it. But I did know that she was getting the Lady of Soul Awards because I think like before every commercial that was going to come on and at the beginning of the actual show, they said, they actually announced that she was getting that award. So I knew that. Now, before I say anything else, especially if I'm going to continue to do reviews for this, in reference to Faith Evans, I've always lived for Faith Evans. Her voice was and or is everything. I don't know, outside of the little duet thing that she did with Stevie J, however long ago, like a year or 6 months, or however long ago that was. But I've always loved her voice. But that doesn't mean everything else is amazing about her, and that I'm gonna live for everything else about her. So, anyway, they showed a clip of him, the husband, Stevie J, actually presenting the Lady of Soul Award to her. And I'm sorry, I gotta say this little piece. I wasn't gonna do it, but I don't care. I don't care what kind of backlash I'm gonna get for it, which I think would be stupid if I got backlash for it. But this is just something that has always annoyed me. People who say husband, instead of just saying thank you, honey, or thank you, babe, or thank you, whatever. It's like people gotta be extra when they're referring to their husband. Like, it's just always something about it that always struck a nerve with me. And Erica and Tina Campbell do it to their husbands. And I don't know if people feel more secure in their marriage, so to speak, when they say that. But as we saw, Tina's husband was out here cheating something terrible. And allegedly he has moments where he's with men too. I don't know if I believe that, but I'm just saying. But I don't know what it is about that. People just saying husband. Da, 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 da. Thank you, husband. Husband is husband. Husband. Like, that's their name. I just can't. And I don't know. Wait a minute. I kind of think a lot of people nowadays say that because they might have seen this show. It was a show that came on PBS. It had, wait a minute, what's her name? I don't know why I couldn't think of her name. The one who played Claire Huxtable. I can't think of her real name all of a sudden. Felicia Rashad had her sister. I want to say Deborah Lee. What is her name? I don't know why my mind went blank. But anyway, y'all know who her sister is. Her sister is currently playing the wife of this man on Grey's Anatomy. I don't know why I can't think of her name. Debbie Allen. Lord, I was like, what in the world? Debbie Allen. Now, I don't remember this guy's name. I used to know it. Remember It's a Different World? The newer seasons that had the guy who, Jada Pinkett Smith was dating the guy who was like the nerdy square that could play basketball and all that stuff. Yeah, he was playing in it. And Felicia Rashad, I don't want to give it away, but anyway. The guy was called husband. And they went all the way off talking about calling this guy husband and all this other stuff. I kind of feel like everybody who was setting it off saying husband initially got it from that particular show. Y'all, what is the name of that show? Wait a minute. I'm going to pause this while I find the name of this dang show, because that show was good. I was not expecting that show to be good. If you had a time in your life, you need to watch this show. Let me find out what it is real quick. Hold on. All right, y'all. So, the name of that TV show is called The Old Settler. Y'all, you need to watch that show. Y'all need to watch that TV. It was a random movie. And I saw that Debbie Allen was in it, and I saw that Felicia Rashad in it, and that guy. So I was like, wait a minute. I like them. And it was interesting that they were going to be on PBS. So I said, okay, let me see what this is about. Y'all, that's a good show. That was a good movie. Y'all got it. It was a made for TV show. Y'all need to watch that movie. That movie was good. Oh my gosh. So again, the name of that movie was The Old Settler. Settler. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my gosh. They did the most in that movie. So yeah. So anyway, y'all, I said all that to say, I don't know what it is, but something really presses my buttons, burns my biscuits, or whatever when it comes to women who just sit up there and say, husband. It's kind of like how I feel about women who call they man daddy whenever they're not referring to their child. Because the only time my mama would say daddy was when she was talking to us, be like, tell daddy whatever, or your daddy. It was never no daddy. I just can't. I cannot do it. That actually disgusts me. But as far as husband, I don't know what it is. It's something that irks me. So anyway, I was like, oh my gosh, stop. So anyway, Scrap DeLeon, he is out of prison and he has been released into a halfway house. And I don't know if y'all know how it works, but if you don't have a blood relative who has not had a criminal history and all that good stuff, they cannot check you out and allow you to have your little free time outside of the halfway house for however long you can do that for. So yeah, he had to stay in there, just be there. And he actually had footage of the place that he was staying in. And he was saying the food was trash, basically. And I was just looking like at the cots and like the little bed set up and all that stuff. I was like, oh no. But anyway, y'all, we ain't even there yet because I'm tired. So anyway, they end up randomly going to the next scene, and Mama D is in some club. I don't know if it's supposed to be a strip club for older women or what, because those do exist. Just like there are strip clubs that only women who look like me strip in, and people really live for it. And they really do be throwing that money. Like, I would not have any financial issues if I were to go to a club like that. I think St. Louis has one or some. Like, there are some out there. Stuff surprises me. But yeah, anyway, look like she's at some club that's for like older women. I don't know, but Scrap DeLeon mama was there. And what, Karen King, KK. And she was throwing ones at her. And I was like, girl, if you don't go somewhere and sit down, sit down. And they were just doing the most. And apparently it is Mama D's birthday. And so she was like, it's my birthday. And at first she looked like she was going to strip. So I was just like, okay, what is going on here? Because ain't nobody got time. And yeah. So she ended up, doing the most. And I was like, Lord, she had this little speech where she wanted to know where her son was at and where her daughter-in-law was at. And I was just like, Lord, where's the bam? Where's the bam? I was just like, Lord, what is going on? Then she proceeded to read Bam Bambi, what's her name? Bambi's mama. And I was like, Lord, what is going on here? So when she finally got off the stage, she went and was talking to Karen, and Karen was like, I'm glad that I did show up, because at first I didn't know if I was going to show up, but I'm glad I did show up because Mama D had all this tea. So she ended up asking her what was all that about. And so she was like, well, you know, Bambi about to pop any minute now. And her, my son, you know, both of them staying at my house. And also, Bambi mama staying at that. I'm like, why? You doing the most, ma'am. I understand that's your grandchild on the way, but you ain't got to stay at this woman's house. Like, for what? Like, I can't do it. So anyway. Oh, gosh. These people just, And so she was like, yeah, she's staying at my house. And proceeded to read her some more. I was like, Lord, this is too much. Don't nobody have time. So anyway, y'all, Carly Red apparently went back over, I don't know how soon after the shooting happened, at Mimi's house to meet up with her, and was like, you know, I'm here for you. And that was scary and all this other stuff. And, you know, it got to the point where Mimi was like, well, what's going on with you? You all right? You good? So she's doing this little confessional thing, talking about, you know, I'm just trying to do my thing. And then proceeded to say she was engaged. And I was like, girl, why? Every season you get a new man, it's not going to work. Like, girl, I just need for you to stop. Until she actually sits down somewhere. Until she sits down somewhere and decides, hey, let me actually have some me time, it's not gonna work. I'm just like, why? So she talking about she's doing all this wedding planning and said something about how they fell in love fast. They got married. They got engaged fast. And I was just like, girl, for what? You got an engagement ring before and it was just no. He had a whole wife, I think. What was his name? Life's a trip. Life Jennings. Girl, stop. So anyway, eventually they got on the subject of, you know, well, have you seen this person? Have you seen that person? And they wanted to know. She asked, Mimi asked Carly Red, had she seen Tommy? She was like, yeah, I saw her. And she was basically saying she was cool with all these people. And she was brought up because Carly Red was naming off all her exes and how they didn't work. And I'm like, girl, why don't you take your own notes in this moment and be like, wait a minute, this might not work. Something got to be about to go off that don't need to go off. You know, some kind of siren about to go off. Something's about to happen and this ain't gonna work. Anyway, she was like, yeah, I saw her. I ain't had no issues with her. We on good terms. And so they ended up going over all these little charges she got. She might be facing up to 50 plus years because of all the stuff she done did. She just showed up to one of her children's middle schools and she was accused of child endangerment, child neglect or something. It was just a whole lot of stuff. I was just like, girl, she really does have a whole lot of mug shots. Like, that kind of is what she's being, you know, famous for right about now. And it's just like, girl, if you would stop drinking, you would not have to deal with all this. But anyway, but yeah. So Stevie J ended up meeting up with his daughter, Eva, and Faith Evans was there. So he ends up telling her, you know, we're married. What do you think about that? And, well, you know, I moved to LA. So what do you think about moving out to LA? Eva was like, you gonna have to ask my mama because, you know, the parent that raised me, you know, whatever. He was trying to say it was him, and she was like, but no, it was my mama though. I was like, oh gosh, this child was reading. She was reading. I was like, ma'am, like Eva be setting it off a little bit. I'd be here for it though. So anyway, Spice was at the house and she was talking to her son. It seems like every time she's talking to her kids, she's mainly talking to her son. I hate that. I hate when women seem to favor the son over the daughter and all this other stuff. Either they're both together or she's only talking to the son. I don't know. Maybe it's a coincidence, but I've noticed a lot of women do that. And I'm just like... So anyway, she was on FaceTime with him and got in her feelings because she has to do these small little events on the road here and there to make ends meet because she's not considered popping enough or popular enough in order to travel and tour a set amount of time and then be able to go somewhere and sit down and live off of that. So she was explaining all this to him, and he was just like, well, why can't you just have a normal job like everybody else? I was like, Lord have mercy, sir, you done went off. So anyway, eventually she got off the phone with him. She in her feelings and started crying. Carly Red done popped up at her house. And so Carly Red was like, what's wrong with you? She was like, I'm fine, ain't nothing wrong. She was like, no, there's something wrong with you. So then she starts talking about how she don't understand what it is about her. Why can't people just accept her the way she is? And she gonna have to change herself. And she don't want to have to change herself in order to make it in this music industry. And so Carly Red was trying to tell her she ain't got to change herself, whatever. So anyway, Eva got home from her little dinner date with her father. And so her mother was like, hey, you know, how did everything go? What y'all had to eat? What y'all talk about? Eva was like, you know, yeah, I had fun. I met Dad's wife. Excuse me? Mimi was like, excuse me? What did he say? What are you talking about? And, you know, Eva is still very young. So she had to kind of look at her like, hold up, wait a minute, you know, and not really act the way she really wanted to act, which was a fool. And I was like, oh my gosh. Y'all, I don't know why this is doing this. Because I don't even have the internet on. I usually don't have the internet on when I'm doing this. Let me scoot back and see. Yeah, I'm just going to scoot back and just be far away from the camera. My head big anyway. So anyway, she was, you know, kind of shocked. And then of course, she dropped another bomb on her and was like, yeah. And he's asked me, what did I think about moving to LA? And she was like, well, what did you say? And she said, I told him that he'd have to ask the parent that raised me. And so she was like, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. And so she told him the rest, of course, which was that he was pointing to himself, talking about, you're looking at me. And I was like, oh, God. I'm here for it. I don't know what it is. I like little old Eva. So anyway, you know, had that moment. So, of course, Mimi is furious because apparently she is still yet to meet the wife. I don't think that's cool. If my child's gonna be around your wife or whoever you dating, I need to meet you first. You don't need to be around my child. I don't care if my ex or whoever you are is with the child when they're meeting this random person. In my mind, you're still a random person. I need to be around you a few times to get a feel for you and to actually have a talk with you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just going to be out here doing what you do, because this happens all the time. People do this all the time. I know people very close to me this has happened to. Brought in an outsider, married them, and they done did the most to their actual blood child. And I'm just like, come on here. This don't make no sense. This happens too often for you to just sit up here and be like, well, it's my wife. All because she Faith Evans. That don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so of course, Stevie J is still trifling. Didn't run nothing past her. Still hadn't met up. And she already told him, I need to meet her before Eva meets her. And of course, he do what he want to do. So she's furious. Scrap got somebody to actually come and get him. And I forgot to mention that while Mama D and KK were at the little club, she was like, you know, I'm working on that. He out, but he had a halfway house that explained the situation. It was like, I'm working on something. I'm gonna be able to see him real soon. I'm like, girl, if you ain't got no blood relatives, you know, the specific blood relatives that they talking about, ain't nobody that gonna come get him. It's not possible. Y'all, why he got a half sister that he ain't even know about? And so he's just looking at her like, hey, thanks for coming to get me. We're meeting each other for the first time right now. And it's just like, what? And I'm glad. And see, at first I was going to read because I was like, watch, they ain't going to ask none of the stuff they need to ask. He was tired. His brother / cousin or whatever Sass is to him, they always asking the right questions. So I was like, I'm glad, because people act stupid sometimes. I understand this is reality TV, but people really sit up here and try to act stupid sometimes. And so I was sitting up there like, what you mean half sister? And don't nobody know her. And then apparently they got the same last name, meaning they got the same daddy. So it's like, how old is she? What is going on here? Then come to find out both of them the same age, which is 30. And I'm just like, what? They got the same last name and they're 30. What is going on here? And so apparently when he was growing up, she told him, your daddy dead. And she said her reason was when he found out about her mama, she found out that he was cheating on her with her mama, and she just assumed that the daddy was dead because she stopped hearing from him. And she heard that the woman was pregnant, but she didn't know if the baby died or not. But then I was just like, girl, I don't know. A whole lot of stuff ain't adding up. And I'm just like, girl, you ain't tried. You fired. And I mean, yeah, his daddy is raggedy too, but I'm just saying. You should have did something on your end too. She never even tried. She was just like, you know what, he did what he did. I feel like she ain't really try to do nothing. I feel like she was just like, oh, he's done with me. Okay, I'm done with him too. Bye. And that was it. And whatever. Oh, gosh. I was just like, girl, you did not even try. Like, he was tired. He was like, I got a whole half sister out here. And then it was kind of like the saving grace is we never slept together. Because I looked at her. I ain't going to lie. And I kind of still feel like this might be the situation. I feel like Caroline and that ain't his sister, half or not or whatever. And this was just a ploy just to get him out. Ain't no half sister. She just was desperate times comes to desperate measures, and she did what she did in order to get him out. Ain't no half sister. I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, cause she stay lying somewhere. I don't know. So anyway, the daddy apparently is alive, and so he and his feelings. He was like, "Well, dang, if I had never went to prison, I would have never found out my dad was still alive, and I had a half sister. Like, what's going on? Like, I was just tired. Like, it don't even make no sense." So anyway, okay, here comes the foolishness. Spice went to a dermatologist. In short, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna need for you to lighten my skin. And she was like, as anybody else, any other professional would do, they said we would have to order a psych eval on you. And so she immediately got offended. That's not even what it is. That's what they do. There are people who get sex changes and they have to do that for them too. So you can't sit up here and get mad because they said, oh, you want to significantly lighten your skin, but you think that they just gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then she actually told her about the dangers and all this other stuff. Spice ain't trying to hit that. She see all these other famous people that have done it and they don't seem to have no issues. From what she see, she feel like it ain't no danger like that, all because she hasn't seen what's happened. And I'm like, girl, y'all know that man. What's this? I think it's spelled VYAL or something like that. He's like not from the United States. He bleached his skin something terrible. He looked crazy and he was dark skinned. And I was just like, sir, if you don't get somewhere, look like he got every kind of disease under the earth after all that. And I think it has a lot to do with that bleaching that happened, that he decided to get done to his skin. He is like a dance hall person or something like that too. And I was just like, sir, if you don't get somewhere and sit down, because he would do videos and stuff, and then he would do photo shoots. People would actually take video footage of him and take pictures of him, and he looked like a complete and utter fool. And I was just like, bruh, if you don't get somewhere and sit down. So anyway, she got in her feelings and she left. So anyway, they did a photo shoot surrounding this. This is what I actually saw online. Like, I don't know how long ago this was, but this was surrounding this particular photo shoot of Spice. So she invited Carly Red. Carly Red showed up and she was just looking like, walking slowly up to her, not realizing for real that it's her. She just sat up here and got somebody to put makeup on her body, and she looked like a whole white woman with a raggedy wig on and some sunglasses. And I was just like, girl, for what? For what? And she's trying to make it seem like she's trying to bring awareness to the colorism that's going on here in the United States and all over the world and all this. And then she actually still seems like she's very serious about getting her skin lightened. And then Mimi, who was it? Mimi and Rashida come up like a couple of minutes later, and they're looking like, I was here to meet Carly Red and Spice. And then they had to realize that was Spice, and they were like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And so she was talking about all this little rah-rah she was talking about before, and then all of them were trying to tell her that she doesn't need to do that. And so Spice was like, y'all don't understand. Y'all do not understand. I was dark-skinned, and y'all don't understand because y'all ain't dark-skinned like me. And all this other stuff. People always want us to change, all this other stuff. It got so bad that her and Mimi got all the way into it, cussed each other out. Mimi left, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But Spice ain't trying to hear nothing nobody got to say. She's literally talking about, I would do whatever it takes in order for me to make it in the music business so that I can provide for my family. And I'm like, girl, you don't have to sit up here and get your skin bleached in order to achieve that. I don't feel like they're necessarily all the way trying to make it seem like it's because she dark skinned. I think it's because of the wild wigs she doing. Like everybody, ain't everybody tired? Everybody should be tired of these. First of all, her wigs look like trash. And I'm just like, girl, why? I mean, like, aren't y'all tired of the Nicki Minaj wigs? The neon color, random color wigs? That's fine every now and again, but you want everybody to believe that that's your persona all day, every day, and it's annoying. And then she wears the typical stuff that the dance hall people wear all the time, which is fine from time to time. But I'm fine with her changing up her style of dress from time to time. I think that's fine. I think another wig that actually looks like hair for real and hair that's a normal color. And I mean, from time to time she can add some random color in there, but I'm just saying, like, you need to ease us into you because you are a lot. And you have booty and you have breasts and you have a lot going on. Her skin color is gorgeous. People have told me that I'm considered to be dark skinned. How, I don't know, but I don't hate my skin color. But back in the day, I used to kind of look at myself like, wow, why am I not worthy enough for somebody to think that my skin color looks nice? Because all the dudes live for light-skinned girls. And I mean, these girls could look like Flavor Flav in the face. And as long as she was light-skinned, it didn't matter. I'd be sitting up there. I would be like a size 12. Back in the day, I was size 12, had booty, hips, thighs, and breasts, long, thick hair. Still look the way I look now, basically, but I just wasn't fat. I just had booty, hips, and thighs. But I'm considered to be dark-skinned, just not the dark-skinned, that actual shade that Spice is and other people who are really considered to be dark-skinned are. And I was overlooked. And it's like, people wouldn't even say hey to me or nothing, all because I was considered dark. And I was just like, what? What in the world? Like, I thought that was so ridiculous. I mean, dudes would really huddle around and just be like, oh my gosh, she's so fine. And I'd be looking like, where they at though? I'm trying to figure out who they talking about. Like, I really be wanting to know. Because I have no problem with saying, oh, she's gorgeous. Oh, she is so pretty. I've never had a problem with that. But I'll be sitting there trying to find the person they're talking about. The person will look like Flavor Flav in the face. And we all know Flavor Flav, it does not look amazing at all in the face. Really, or anywhere else. And it ain't got nothing to do with how dark he is. It has nothing to do with his skin color. He literally is just not attractive. But anyway, y'all. That's about the end of it. But before Mimi stormed out, Spice kept bringing up the fact that Mimi has breast implants, and she's trying to compare body augmentation as far as getting your breasts done to her actually bleaching her skin. And Mimi had to read her and was like, I've been black my whole life. We all are black. I have a black daughter. I was like, oh Lord, this is too much. But yeah, as she was walking out the door, she kept on telling her that she fake and phony and all that because she has fake breasts. And so she tried to tell her before it got to the hollering and screaming match that, yeah, I do have boobs now because I breastfed for 3 years and they were flat as pancakes. That is why a lot of people get it done. If they're not lucky like Candy Burris to where when they breastfeed, they lose significant amounts of weight and they somehow get boobs. Their boobs get bigger and all that good stuff. I don't know. Some people are lucky like that, but others seem to lose their breasts. But anyway, that was the review on that. It's just so much stuff that happens. And then I have something that connects to it. So this is way longer than what I wanted it to be. And I apologize for that. But I'll try my best to start cutting back down on the time. Because like I said, this is already doing the most. So anyway, I don't know when, but I'll be back with the second episode. I hope that y'all are having a wonderful day. If you like the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you have not already subscribed, feel free to do so. If not, that is just fine as well. Anyway, y'all have a nice evening, and I'll see y'all next time.